Hi, my name is Miss Emily. You can find me at the Buckeye Library, and I'm excited to share a special story time with you today. How's everybody doing? Yeah? What have you guys been up to this morning? Are you staying busy? Good. What do you see on my table here? I have lots of stuff on my table. Look at this. Look at all this. Do you know what this is? Yeah. Did somebody say plants? They are plants. These are all plants and they've been growing. They've been growing and they're getting bigger and bigger every day. Do you know what they look like when they started out though? They looked a lot different. They were so tiny when they started out. They started out as little seeds. The little seeds were planted in the soil, and now they look the way they do today. Pretty cool, huh? Would you like to read a story with me about plants? Okay, cool. Well, before we get started with our story, that's going to be about how plants can sometimes grow into food that we eat. I want to see if I can hold up some vegetables, and maybe you know what they are and you can just shout it out and tell me. Okay, so pay attention. I'm going to hold up a pretend vegetable, and then you tell me if you know what it's called. And you can even tell me if you think it's yummy, or if you've tried it before, or if you would like to try it, or even if you tried it and don't like it. All right, ready? Okay, let's start with something kind of easy. Does anybody know what this vegetable is? Carrot. Somebody said carrot. Yeah, this is a carrot, and a carrot starts out as a seed too. Okay, that was pretty easy for you guys. I'm gonna see if I can make it a little harder. What about this one? What about this? What do you think? Tomato. I can't believe you guessed that one too. You guys are good. Okay, let's see. What about, I really like these in my salad when it's really hot out. Do you know what this is? It's a cucumber. Yes, I love cucumbers in my salad. Let's do one more, and I'm gonna make this one something else I like in my salad. What is this called? Do you guys know? It is a pepper. It's a bell pepper, and those come in different colors. You might have seen them at the store in red, orange, yellow, green. So here's a red one, a red bell pepper. Well, you guys were pretty good at guessing the vegetables. Are you ready to read a story about how vegetables are grown and then how they end up in your refrigerator and in your dinner or your lunch? It's pretty cool how that happens. All right. So this story is called Before We Eat. And we want to thank Tilbury House, the publisher, for letting us share it. It's by Pat Brisson. So that's the person, the author, who wrote the words. And the illustrator is Mary Azarian, and the illustrator drew the pictures for the book. So we have two different people who worked really hard on this book, Before We Eat. So it's Before We Eat, from farm to table. So these vegetables, a lot has to happen to them before they're ready for you to eat them. And this is a pretty cool book that'll tell us about it. Before We Eat, from farm to table. As we sit around this table, let's give thanks as we are able to all the folks we'll never meet who helped provide this food we eat. lot of people had to work really hard to get the food on the table. They plowed the ground and planted seeds. Oh no, do you guys see any vegetables yet? Not yet. They picked the food at harvest time, working in the heat and grime. It was very hot out. Fed the sows. They fished from boats out on the seas. Raised wheat and nuts and honeybees. What do bees help make again? Do you guys know what do bees make? Honey, that's right. Thanks. Totally forgot. Thank the ones who picked the crates, sorted boxes, checked the weights. You notice what they're doing here? Looks like the food is all picked now, and they're organizing and sorting it. Thank the drivers on the roads in their trucks with heavy loads. Where do you think the food is now? Yeah, I bet you it's inside the truck. I wonder where the truck's going. Oh, and all the clerks at all the stores who did the grocery selling chores. Oh, so the trucks went to the grocery store. Put your finger on your nose if you like going to the grocery store. I do sometimes, depends on my mood. Thank the ones who bought this food, the ones who teach me gratitude. Gratitude means you're thankful for what you have. So think about the people who buy the food in your house. Thank goodness we have it, right? So important. Sitting at this meal we share, we are grateful and aware. Sending thanks upon the air. To those workers everywhere. Look at all the different workers who helped get food on the table. So you know this guy probably looks like a farmer, and he's getting the plants ready that we're talking about, but also, you know, you don't want to forget about the milk because that comes from, yeah, cows. And then we've got even the fishermen. They work hard to catch fish, and that's something that we eat too. And then the person who buys the groceries, the person who makes the food for us. So many reasons to be thankful. So that's pretty cool. So thanks for reading Before We Eat with me. Thanks again to Tilbury House Publishers. And I want to show you, before we go, I want to show you something that is fun and available for you to do if you'd like to grow your own food. So hang tight and I'll get it all set up. All right, I told you I'd be back. So at the Buckeye Library, where I work, we have garden to go bags. And inside are seeds, soil, and a container. And it says grab a bag and get planting. So if you would like to be your very own gardener and grow your very own food, this is your chance. You can grab a garden to go bag. They're just at the Buckeye Library, but I'll show you what's inside, and it's very, very easy if you can't get to Buckeye to replicate this at home with what you have. So look for this sign at Buckeye, and then you'll see our little bags. And inside is everything you need. So we have soil, And then the container, we want it to be able to recycle. So this container, it's pretty cool. Do you know what this is? Does this look familiar to you? What's normally inside of these? Okay, yes, eggs. So when the eggs are all gone, instead of throwing it away, we recycled it and we're making it into a plant container. So we've got the soil and the container. And so, and then in here are the seeds. So we just used, it's a little paper napkin that's been stapled together. So you open it up, you'll see the seeds are in there. And you'll get to choose which seeds you want. So I think we're gonna have, we will have choices like tomatoes, there's lavender, just want something that smells really nice. Basil, that's something that a lot of people put on their food that makes it taste really good and brings out a lot of flavor. So you can choose which seeds you want when you pick up your kit. But in here are the little teeny tomato seeds. So all you have to do to be your very own farmer and food grower is take your little container, take a spoon. You're gonna wanna fill it with soil. This could be a good outside activity too. That way you don't have to worry about getting it on the table or on the floor in the house. And the weather's been so much nicer, so it's a perfect reason to get outdoors. All right, so I've got soil in here. Now I'm gonna take a couple tomato seeds and I'm gonna set them on the soil. And I'm just gonna push it down with my finger, just so it's just covered up. I'll do that with the other side too. That way I'm likely to get sometimes seeds don't always turn into plants, but that's okay. That's why we plant more than one. All right. Now what's this missing? I don't think it's ready to grow yet. Yes, water. Yeah, so a good idea for this, since it's so teeny, if you have a little spray bottle with water, you could spray it and then that way it won't get it too wet. But this is really cool because if you spray it with water, it'll grow and you'll see a little seedling. And then the seedlings will get bigger like these and you'll have to move it. Do you see how this is just, it was too big for the egg container. So you can actually move the container in here because it's just made out of paper. So you could move the whole, when the seedling gets too big for the egg container, you could move it into here and add more soil and then more water and it'll keep growing. And then when it's really nice outside and you don't have to worry about frost anymore, about snow anymore, you could put it in a garden or in a pot outside. All right, so you have lots of choices for how you want to be your own food grower. So thanks for joining me. I had a lot of fun sharing the story and the fun activity with you. And remember, you can replicate these at home with what you have. Most of them are pretty handy. If you'd like to come visit us at Buckeye, we have the kits and you can choose which seeds you like. All right, I will see you next time.